you guys so much for jumping in this morning and just being a part of this. That is for sure. So, the topic for today, right, is shifting gears, right? And how do we capitalize on this changing markets at the end of the day? Show of hands, chat box there. Like, any of you guys seeing changes in your marketplace happening right now? See some thumbs up and stuff here, right? I don't know about you guys, but man, this is crazy right now. And so we have to start thinking about strategies to stay profitable, to stay relevant, resilient when the market doesn't sit still, right? And that's hard for us to do because we find something that works, right? We find a diet, we find a workout routine, we find a significant other that we think that we're going to spend the rest of our lives with, right? And if you don't continue to work on that relationship, right, you guys start drifting and you don't treat each other the same way as in the beginning and this and that. And then you guys are in different relationships and then you end up changing and going through that season. Same thing happens with business, right? Same thing happens with working out, right? You'll start a workout routine. You'll get these massive gains and stuff like that. And then you plateau because your muscles get used to it. And then you have to shake some things up. Our market does that all the time right now. Kelly, I see your nugget there, and Jeff just shared that just before you came on and stuff there about Chat GPT and putting the comps and stuff in and getting that. So I appreciate you jumping in on that. So guys, that's what I want to spend all day today talking about is we're shifting gears, we're shifting markets, right? And so the first part is no matter what's happening in the marketplace, is that you have to identify that shift early, right? Like that is by far, like if you don't notice it's happening, it's going to be too late. If you're not looking at the numbers, if you're not looking at the numbers, the data, etc., I can tell you, I saw Mashan just come on here, and before this, I was helping him and his team review some BPOs that I had helped them with. And in 2 months, right, when we had that listing, it was sitting for a long time. One, we overpriced it. Two, new inventory was stacking on and stuff like that. We got up to a 12-month supply of inventory. Now, it sold roughly about 3 months ago, and this is where shifts happen, right? The inventory stopped coming on, and those all picked up. Now it is at a 4-month supply of inventory. That's a huge shift. These are the stories that you got to be able to tell your client. But if you don't know how to identify them, it's going to be worthless. So let me ask you guys, what are some signs that we can use to identify a shift in the market? What kind of things would you be looking for that would help you identify a shift in the market? Active or lack of, I'm assuming, inventory.
More escrows like
activity or lack of, meaning like I've got 3 listings right now, 3 weeks on the market, like practically no showings, empty open houses, and they're priced right.
Yeah, I see longer days on market. Mike, I know that you were going to say something there. What were you going to say, my friend?
Yeah, I was just saying what I was noticing is a lot more escrows are canceling at a record pace. I just put that in the chat. I read an article on Yahoo Finance about more and more escrows are falling out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And everything that you guys are saying here, increased days on market, more daily price reductions, escrows are canceling at a record pace, an increase of buyer activity compared to inventory, right? Plus coming back onto the markets. increase and decreases across all strata, including days on market, showing prices, increasing of withdrawn, right? These are all leading indicators, right? And those aren't things that I made up. Those are things that I'm just reading straight off of the chat box and off of the chat and stuff right now. More expired listings, right? Like, what did the market look like 4 years ago? Right? Like, we had less than like a 1 month supply of inventory in the country. You could not keep something on, even if you priced it incorrectly. It got multiple offers and stuff there, right? It was kind of wild, and it wasn't normal. It wasn't healthy. And more importantly, it wasn't sustainable, which is where we go through these different cycles and stuff here. So we've talked about this, right? Like, we're starting to see price reductions. Anybody know what inventory across the country is right now? Because it's the highest that we've seen since pre-COVID era. Anybody know what current inventory across the country just hit? That's very specific, Robert. 860,000 properties, 420. Housingwire.com. So there was an article that I just read that we actually peaked over the million houses of inventory across the country right now, which is a lot. So beautiful. So these are the things that you guys need to know. A lot of us are in the REO default. We work with institutional investors. This is the info that your clients need to know about, because it's hyper local as well. So you have to, make sure that you can dial in and tell this story for your clients, because you are their eyes and ears on the ground. Same thing for traditional. Right? When I was reviewing with Mashan's team, they were like, hey, Larry, this is the comps that we wanted to use. And I was like, where did you get these comps? And they sent me over a cloud CMA. And I'll be honest, I feel like that's where almost all real estate agents pull their comps. They go into their MLS, they hit this cloud CMA. Here's the thing, this cloud CMA picked a property that was over 2 miles away. Guys, that's a different market. That's a different school district. There's different shopping centers. There's different crime rates. Like, this is where, when you guys are pulling comps, like, you need to try to be finding properties that are like for like properties. I'm talking within a mile radius. If you can get within a 10% square footage, 1 story to 1 story, right? Like, all of these things, you want to try to find identical homes. That's going to tell you the price of that home, not comparing a 1 story to a 2 story, right? A 1,500 square foot home to a 2,500 square foot home. Those are different buyers, right? Those are different demographics of who's buying those properties and stuff there. So this is where, again, we're doing a disservice, whether it's a traditional client, an investor, an REO client, if we're not providing that type of data. And that brings me to my second point, right, is to become a data-driven agent and using hyper-local stats to advise your clients, right? And this is where we can literally leverage trends to reposition listings and win buyers' trust as well, right? This is where a lot of us, people always want what they can't have, right? And a lot of you guys have listings that are coming up, right? You're trying to build rapport and stuff with people at open houses. Oh my gosh. If I could show you, Angela, if I could show you some homes that aren't on the market yet, that should be coming up, priced amazing, would that interest you? Now, you're doing something that your competition cannot, because most agents are not heavy listing agents, right? Like, they fall into this buyer side of things, not our group, right? And if you're part of this group and stuff, like, find another agent in your area. If you don't have listings coming up, right, and you live over there in Newport or Huntington Beach, like, damn it, you better be reaching out to Jeff Russell and be like, hey, what do you have that's coming up, right? And I'm going to use that as a talking point, right? Because this one team, one dream, right? Like, this rising tide will raise all ships. Like, build rapport and relationship with other agents and brokerages and stuff, and figure out how to add value to them. I can guarantee you, if you can help move their properties and do that, that will be value, and they will help you guys out there. So we have to become this data-driven agent, especially with this shifting market, right? I can't release names and stuff at this point in time, but we're onboarding a new client that has 120,000 properties in their portfolio across the country right now. They only care about the data, right? They run reports every single day. You have to speak their language. And now this is where you get into all of these different personality types, and I see this with Ariana, right? She in the past has had problems with like high D personalities that want to control the listing presentation. Those traditional for sale by owners that think they know more than you, right? This is where your skills will come in. How do you give them the data or ask the right questions to get them to walk in the direction that you want to go? This is where the cream will rise to the top. When the market was going up, guys, everybody made money. You're having a lot of agents have a lot harder time right now. And in the next couple of years, it's going to be even harder, which is why you saw this mass rush into the market during COVID, because you didn't have to know shit how to make money, right? You had your license. Somebody was going to buy or sell. You could be lucky. You could be now is where your skills come into play. Now is where your value comes into play. Now is when you know how to price that property, market, advertise, virtual stage through ChatGPT so it shows better online. This is where that will come up, right? What if you took you went to a listing presentation, right? And you took a picture of their home virtually staged, right? You can do that right now. You don't need to go through a company. You don't need to pay hundreds of dollars. You have to think how you're going to add value and set yourself apart from your competition. That is where you need to be thinking about right now, right? There is going to be, in an up market or down market, there is immense opportunities. You have to figure out what they are in your market specifically, because every market is a little bit different. The third one, and we're going to talk about this one for a little bit here, but double down on listings. That gives you advertising opportunities, open house opportunities, price. Like, here's the thing. You cannot sell a home that you don't have listed. Can't do it. You can never take a price reduction on a home you don't have listed, right? So listings are leverage in any market, but especially in one where buyer power, where like in an up market and down market, right? As the market's riding up, you see people, because there's all of this competition, that wants to work with the listing agent. They think they're going to have a better chance, partially because they probably know a friend or something that worked with kind of a shady agent that it did provide some opportunities, right? Most of it should not provide an opportunity. You shouldn't be sharing what those other offers are unless you're doing it with everybody, right? So as long as it's a level playing field, there's not a ton of advantage and stuff to that at this point in time. And here's the thing, keep this in mind, it's not worth your license, right? Like, don't play in that gray area. We have too much on the line to make an extra $6,000 on one transaction is not worth your license. Like, be fully transparent, make sure that you guys are above board, because here's the thing. I know the production of people on this call, people are going to hate you because you're winning, right? Like, give them something to hate about, but don't give them a reason to bring you down, right? Let them keep talking. Shit, they can come join you. They can join your team if you want, right? But don't give them a reason to take you down, right? This is where, like, as the amount of people that are doing business is shrinking, you guys have to level up. You guys have to represent your clients, your family, and everything else. Don't play in that gray area, because people are going to be looking for things to report you for. They're going to report you just so it's a pain in the ass on your next MLS type thing. Now, you might win it, right? But it's still going to be a process and stuff like that to get through that. So, yes, you know, if you have haters, you're doing something right, right? But don't let it affect your game. Don't let it throw you off of your game at this, right? And so as we talk about taking more listings and stuff like that, right? Like pre-listing packages, market shift scripts, you know, price it right or pay the price type thing, like have some strategies in place. The same thing goes with the REO and institutional side. Your initial BPO is critical, right? It's critical. Get that right the first time. Otherwise, you're going to be chasing the market. And they're going to be like, well, Jared, like, I listed it where you wanted it me to. Why isn't it selling? Right? Look at what's happening with your market and get ahead of that, and then explain to them why you did this, right? So you have this. Yeah, so I talked about doubling down on listings. You know what else I'm doubling down on right now? Put some guesses in there. Take your phone off of mute.
Lead generation or calls.
Adding
Buyers.
agents to the team. Oh,
Buyers, right? Like, look, we're going to control some listings. We're shifting into a buyer's market because of the amount of inventory that's on this market. We want those listings. They are going to sell as long as we can make an adjustments and doing this, it's going to drive more business. But the more buyers you have, that's going to be the instant gratifications, right? So Natasha and I are actually working on a ClickFunnels program right now that I think in the first, oh my gosh, I don't even know if we're 20 days into it, but we've produced around 80 leads. 3 have been pre-qualified already. Now they all have it or have been sent to our lender to be pre-qualified. Now, some of them, you know, don't have the credit, this and that, but we did that in 20 days. We're going to keep stacking that. We're going to keep having them on drip campaigns. If their credit wasn't there, right, we'll have the right resources and stuff to guide them there. We're not taking on a credit repair company or anything like that, but that is going to be a huge opportunity as well, because that's what's going to move fast, right? Your buyers are going to have a lot of options. And the last market, I want to say it was in 2010, right? I sold a new home subdivision out in Surprise, Arizona for $256,000. I remember the price from 2010 because my commission was $25,600. That client got rebates, got this, got that. Like, there's going to be huge opportunities for buyers, but if you don't have buyers, those are not opportunities anymore. But the new home buying side of things, you're already starting to see BSAs. You don't see very many price reductions because they don't want to decrease the value of their communities. So what they'll do is they'll say, okay, $400,000 base price, but we'll give you $50,000 in warehouse credits. We'll give you this, we'll give you that, right? So that way, like, their price point kind of stays the same, right? I have seen a couple of price reductions and stuff on new home communities as well. The fourth point that I want to talk about is recession-proof lead generation at this point in time. So focus on long-term pipelines at this point, right? Focus on these long-term pipelines of investors, expireds, downsizers, divorce leads, right? Figure out where the business is coming from. It's kind of like in a down market, alcohol sales and makeup actually thrive, right? Alcohol sales and makeup in a down market thrive. You know, in a down market, divorce skyrockets, right? Like this is where you have to identify these trends early and go build these relationships by adding value to those attorneys at the end of the day, if that's part of your business plan, right? It may not be, right? You might be too busy with what you're doing, and that's great, right? But think about where your business is at. Think about what's coming down the pipeline and position for that. We've talked about a lot of different things. You cannot possibly take advantage of all of that. It's going to be a case-by-case basis, a market-by-market type basis and stuff as well. The fifth one is, guys, we have to start educating people instead of selling them, right? Become this voice of reason and education in your market, right? Do this to your email list, social media, your CMA updates. This is, and if you go along with that, you know, long-term pipeline, everybody that's in your database should be on at least a quarterly market update that says, hey, Randy, I know that you had no desire to sell your home. Most people love to see if their home appreciated or depreciated. If you ever have any questions or anything, let me know. Everybody that you know that owns a home should be in your database like that, right? The ones that, you know, express buyer, you know, interest in buying, right? If they don't have the credit score, you know, maybe they're on a once-a-month report. Hey, I know that we're, you know, rebuilding credit and stuff like that. Wanted to give you an idea of what's going on in the market. Here are homes that look like that, type thing. But having these systems in place that constantly follow up and have this calm confidence, right? That will help you convert. You don't need to freak out with the market or anything like that. Like, speak with some intention, speak with some confidence and stuff there. Optionality, right? Like, as this market continues to turn, right, we're going to have to create some options, right? We do a lot with Temple View Capital. I do a lot with Anchor Loans. Be ready to talk about creative financing, right? Seller carrybacks, subject to rate buy downs, right? These things solve problems in our market right now. And you don't need to be an expert, but like you need to have a lending partner or somebody like that that can help guide you if you don't know enough about this. Guys, there's over 20 million, there's over, oh my gosh, what's the number? Actually, I'm not going to quote the number off the top of my head. It's actually in my Seizing REO presentation. But there is an abundance of listings in your area right now that have a 2% to 3.5% interest rates, and they're assumable. They're assumable. Right? Like, so your guy could, like your person could go in and assume that loan. Any VA property is assumable. Right? Like, these are things where when you create different options, you create different opportunities. You could even market and advertise that. And it may not be the right fit for that particular client, but it gets you talking with people and adding them to your database at the end of the day. And so, you know, the last point that I want to talk about as, you know, this market's continuing to shift is, and this is a very challenging one for most people, is you have to shift your mindset from this scarcity mindset to a strategy type mindset, to a growth type mindset. Like, this is not my saying, right? But More millionaires are made during a down market than an up market. This will be your time to capitalize. This is why we've lined up all of these relationships. This is why we've lined up creative financing that don't need traditional W-2s, because as this market goes, I not only want all of you guys to have the most production you've ever had in your life, I want you guys to have the best lives possible as well. This is where I want you guys, I think Jared owns 40 or 50 acres around him right now. I want him to own 1,000 acres. I want him to be his own goddamn national forest over there in Washington, right? I want you guys to buy these investment properties, buy these strip malls and stuff like that, or invest in these strip malls through syndications and stuff like that. I want us to increase production, decrease costs, and build wealth to use this next 4 to 8 years to set up the rest of our lives. It can be done. I had a hard time doing it last time because when the market was running up, I overextended myself. Right? I had 5 homes in Phoenix, Arizona that were being rehabbed. I had 2 pieces of property in Mexico. I had a lot of money in the bank and the market started crashing. And if you guys were in this last cycle, literally, it was decreasing by 3 to 5% a month. And so, I started using my bank account and I drained my bank account because I had to get these properties done. And then I ran out of money. So I had all of these properties sitting there in Phoenix, Arizona that I couldn't rent out. I couldn't sell because I owed more than I had on it, right? And so what happened? My credit score card started going down, right? I started running out of options. Now, I wouldn't be here without those lessons. That's why I was talking about to Mark Rebert, right? You got to enjoy this journey that you're on and take those lessons to set you up for the future. Because now we have more relationships. That I sold a lot of homes last time, but I couldn't even use bank accounts because people wanted to garnish my wages, right? I remember moving to Las Vegas. We had a caravan of cars. I had to be called my wife, babe, we got to stop and turn back around because I had money hidden in the house that I forgot because I couldn't use fucking bank accounts. I never want somebody to go through that. So now is the time to start looking at your budget, start looking at your finances. And we will drive a lot of business within this group. You got to be able to capitalize on it, keep your credit score up, start building some reserves. So when these opportunities of a lifetime come up, you can capitalize on them. Think about the prices of 2010. Oh my gosh, I have some friends and I'm so jealous and grateful for them, that are big REO agents in the Los Angeles area. They also have 20 or 30 homes in Los Angeles County that they bought for $400,000. All of those homes are over $1 million today. Those are the opportunities that I want you guys to have. Now, they didn't pay cash for those, right? They used investors' money. They used private financing and stuff like that. But we will be the first ones to see these market shifts when it goes down, when it starts going up. This is where I want all of you guys to capitalize. I don't think we're going to get back to 2010 prices, right? I just don't think it's going to happen. But I want us to capitalize on whatever your strategy is moving down the future, whatever your goals are. That's what I want us to use this to capitalize on. So that's what I got for today, my friends. This is a huge opportunity this next 4 to 8 years that a lot of agents are going to get out of the business. They're going to go back to some sort of security, right? Because they're having a hard time figuring it out. You guys are some of the most productive agents you guys are the most productive agents I know. And a lot of you guys are just getting more and more productive as this time goes on. So this is where we need to use each other as resources. and collaborate versus compete, which I know is very different in this real estate market and stuff. Is there anything that you guys want to cover? Any additional insights or anything that I missed that you guys can think of?
Larry White, how are you, brother?
What's up, Robert Wykill?
Well, you know what? I tell you, I felt like I was telling the story of my life, what you just told me, and I can 100%, and I think Jeff Russell's on the same page. We can relate, brother. And what I wanted to add is, what are we doing now? What kind of now business are we doing? Are we working with the FSBOs, the expireds, the pre-foreclosure folks that need our help? And working with the pre-foreclosure sets you up for the post-foreclosure. So it's a perfect segue into that business. So as an agent, we need to think, what are we doing for now business as we set up for future business? So thanks for that was a huge call today, man. I really appreciate you. And one last thing, Larry, I can't wait for next Wednesday, More Listings Mastermind. I've got a special guest. Oh my God, I can't wait to have you on. It's going to be so much fun. So make sure you guys tune in next Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern.
Yes,
Larry. Love you,
absolutely.
brother.
Oh man, love you to death as well. I'm super excited about being on your podcast next Wednesday. And that's a great point, right? Like we do a lot of foreclosures. I can tell you there's a hell of a lot more money in pre-foreclosures, helping people before they get there. Because once they get to foreclosures, guys, look, I love when clients can send me 50 properties, 100 properties. But look, everybody wants their cut. Like it's a volume-based business. I work a hell of a lot more than any traditional deal, right? That pays me, you know, a full commission, whatever that might be to you, whatever you charge, right? There's no standards or anything at this point in time, but you will make a hell of a lot more money focusing on those traditional clients that you don't have to pay everybody else for at this point in time. So really like lean into that. Look at your business plan and which one of those things you know, really apply. But expireds, FSBOs, canceled, like there's going to be a lot of opportunities. I can tell you, you know, we're doing a lot with Open Door right now here in Houston. Crazy. We've been working with them for 2 weeks. I want to say, like, Mashawn, how many listing appointments? Mashawn, are you still on by any chance, brother?
Yes, I'm right here.
Hey, how many listing appointments have you been assigned that you're reaching out to the people that want offers and stuff on their homes just from the Open Door program?
I have 8 assessments. I've done 2 listing appointments and got both of them. And I have 4 more assessments within the week to go on.
And Mashawn's just one. Like we have 5 agents on this group and team, right? Like I know one person over in Sugarland has like 20, right? Like, so like we tried to spread up Houston because Houston's 2 hours from Houston, and Mashawn's, you know, just one of our rock star agents. Like he's been on 2 listing appointments. He got both of them. That's just going to pick up because these people are looking for offers from Open Door. So we go out there, we present the offer to them. Now, a cash offer is generally pretty low, right? Like, unless it's a buy and hold. So now I just introduced Easy Street Offers, who we've had on here in the past. So now we can get more instant offers, maybe at a higher price. And then they're providing, you know, these different ways to list traditionally as well. And it's crushing it. Like, we will dominate this listing side of things right now, and so excited for this, and excited for you to be on here, man. I'm thrilled that you know, it only took you 3 or 4 years to come join my group and start increasing production, but I'm really glad that you're here.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. Anybody else? Any other programs? Beta, that was it's Open Door. And it's just we're doing a pilot with them here in Houston and stuff right now. And so it's a lot that's coming through. So we're trying to help them kind of work the kinks out of it, give them some feedback and stuff like that, and take a lot of listings in the meantime. So anybody else? Any other comments? Anything that we missed that needs to be shared? All right, guys. Well, I got to go get on my coaching call and stuff here myself for today. I love you guys. I thank you guys. If you need anything, call, text, or email me, and I'll talk to you soon, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks,
Have a
Larry.
wonderful day, Larry.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.